Hey, welcome back to Simply Key, where I do and say everything and nothing at all. If you're new, welcome. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss another upload. And if you've already been here, you already know the drill. So this video is technically for a class called Libraries as Change Agents. I usually post my class projects as unlisted, but I feel like this one should be posted on my public part of my channel because I feel like knowing the roles of libraries and knowing where you can find resources, like where you have access to free resources and research, where you can find those papers and those books and those videos and those movies to help you combat what is going on in media in today's political climate is important. And we are advocating for libraries in this final project for this class, and we are talking about the amazing world that is a library. And so yes, this will be a public video, and so I'm excited. Okay, let me take my glasses off and then we'll get started. So the library that I am personally advocating for is the Cherokee Middle School Library, which is the library that I personally used because I went to school at Cherokee Middle School. Amazing library ran by an amazing woman named Miss Foster. It's just, that library really has helped me grow partly into the person I am today, because without that push of Miss Foster and without the book club and without, seeing the renovations and being part of the book ordering processes and things like that, I wouldn't be the writer that I am today. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't be as eloquent in my language when I write and as fluent and as encouraged to be public in a sense. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the services and the programs that the library provides. A few just to name off the bat would be things like the Star Student Luncheon, the Spelling Bee, the PS I Love You program that they had, and other programs that I will insert here. I have been in some of these programs even when I attended middle school, even though that's been quite a few years back. But those programs I feel like really make children who are very introverted feel welcome. The library has a very welcoming presence at that school, and I feel like when they have programs like this, it makes students feel like they have a place and they feel welcome. I know even this is advocating from a middle school library, but even in my elementary school library, I was invited to be part of the Scrabble club. And without them, I would not have as big as a vocabulary I do today. And I would not have a love for the game Scrabble. So I really just appreciate the programs that libraries put together. It's really intentional. It's really supposed to motivate you and help you grow. So I'm going to talk briefly about the resources and the collections that the library has, but I'm mainly going to be posting pictures for this part, so get ready. So one of the things I thought was super cool that was not there when I was there was the Lego wall in the Lego area. So if you know anything about me, you know I love Legos. I went to Legoland, Legos movie, DVD, watching them all the time. And I feel like this is really cool because where do you see a library that's interacting with you and allowing you to do things outside of reading, because a library is more than just reading and be quiet. A library is a space that helps you learn about yourself and allow you to express yourself in the creative means that are necessary. And if that means you're not reading and writing, you're building a structure in the library, so be it, because you're decorating a space that makes you feel welcome, and I really appreciate that. The other thing that I really loved about the library, that even when I was there, is the reading area. The reading area just couches in the library is just amazing. First of all, let's jot that down. But you know, you have the wooden tables and the wooden chairs, but you also have the comfy chairs and you have the couches, and it just makes you feel like you are supposed to be there. It makes you feel like this is your space. It makes you feel like this is your home. This is where you belong. And yes, you can grab a book and sit on the couch and read. And that's one of the best things I loved about middle school. Because at our middle school, of course, we rotate different things that we go to. So like, of course, I went to band every day, but you know, I would go to PE twice a week. I would go to the library once a week. I would go to the computer lab once a week, you know, that type of thing. And I always loved library time because it was just the best. It's always been the best, period, besides band. I'm a band nerd too. But there's just something so magical, especially about that middle school library that I went to, that just really fostered relationships and friendships. And I still have friends I was friends with it from the library. So I really just thought that was really important to share. And then she also, Miss Foster also sent me a breakdown of the different types of books that are in the library as a collection. And I think some other little tidbits are on there too, and I will insert that here. So Miss Foster is an amazing, amazing, amazing woman. I mean, all the Fosters are, honestly, because they're really out here doing it. But Miss Foster from my Cherokee Middle School librarian is so amazing. Amazing. She has her BS in multidisciplinary, studies, 1 through 8, so grades 1 through 8. And she has her MA in curriculum in instruction, and her MA in library sciences, which I thought is cool. I didn't know library sciences was a thing, but you know, makes sense. She started her career in 1996 at the age of 34. So amazing. Way before but amazing. I loved the library. I love Miss Foster. The library is not a place that needs to be extinct. It provides resources. It provides friendships. It provides creative spacing. If it wasn't for the libraries, I wouldn't know half of the Japanese that I know now. I wouldn't have read half the books I've read by now. I wouldn't even have my favorite author that is my favorite author now. I wouldn't have even wrote a book if it wasn't for Miss Foster and the Cherokee Middle School Library. And it just renders me speechless. That's to say the least. It really does. Librarians work so hard to make sure we have the access and the resources that we need. Whether it's a college librarian, you know, showing us how to look at databases and find research that is credible and reliable and prevalent to what we are writing about. Or, you know, a middle school librarian that helps you start a book club and allows you to have a little bit of leadership skill development. A librarian that makes you feel like the feeling you get when you read a book is the same feeling you can give someone else when you write a book, because you too can write a book. Or the librarian that made me feel like I didn't have to adhere to the standard English that is taught to us, because there are different dialects and there are different ways to speak. I tend to speak in AAVE as well as standard English, and she never made me feel bad about that. So that is why libraries are important. So when I read the article that was talking about saving taxpayers money and not having libraries anymore because they can get the books they need on Amazon and have a hangout place at Starbucks, first of all, poor people do not feel like they belong at Starbucks. So jot that down. And second of all, the library is a different space. You can't generate that anywhere else. It's a feeling that no other place can give you. Period. And second of all, librarians help you find books that you didn't even know that you needed to read and wanted to read, but you needed to read and wanted to read. Because without my high school librarian, I would have never read this book called The Forgotten. I think it's called The Forgotten or The Forgetting. I would have never realized that I like dystopian books without Miss Foster and Miss Parrish. Never. I can't go on Amazon and find books that I know I will like without somebody who sees me every day and pays attention to me and pays attention to what I check out and shows me other books within those genres. Amazon can do that, but it can't do that, if you catch what I'm saying. And I mean, libraries make poor people and people put in a less advantaged position in their area and environment feel special. Libraries help people find jobs. Libraries give people spaces to have meetings, and they help children foster their love for reading at a young age, which is very necessary for this society. And so I will always advocate for libraries. If I didn't want to be a doctor so bad, I might have been a teacher or a librarian, who knows. But yeah, I will always advocate for libraries because they are out here doing the Lord's work, okay? Without librarians, my research papers would be trash. So I hope you feel as passionate about libraries as I do. And if you don't believe it from me and you don't believe how amazing Miss Foster was, take it from the students who go to school there now. Woo, Chile. That was kind of intense, but like, I know I kind of got off topic of what the actual assignment was, but I know I'm only advocating for this project for Cherokee Middle School Library, but I will always advocate for any library, whether it's Hutchins Library, Cherokee Middle School Library, Roane County High School Library, Kingston Elementary School Library, Kingston Public Library. I will always advocate because reading is necessary. Having access to internet is necessary. Having a place to brush your teeth and stay warm when you're homeless, and to also have access to internet to find jobs and to connect with the world is necessary. When I watched The Public, that broke my heart when they were so worried about hoarding information and keeping it protected from the outsiders that they sent in cops and had a negotiator come in. Is so wild to me because it just really is reflective of today's time, if you know what I mean. So with Cherokee Middle School Library having like a reading area and an activity area and a Lego table and like just the breakdown of how Miss Foster does her library sessions, I feel this hope that future generations will still have a love for libraries and still want to actively seek information and want to actively know what is going on in the world that they live in. And so I really hope you care about libraries, and I really hope you care about all people having access to libraries and what they provide. And if you don't, maybe you should go check out a library today, okay? Okay, so that's it for today. So I really enjoyed doing this video. Seeing how the library, as I knew it when I went to middle school, has fostered into something bigger is so amazing. And I'm just so excited to see what the future holds for libraries and the resources that they are able to provide us, because there are a lot of new things coming about that libraries can now do and are capable of, and I can't wait to see that.